Again, I welcome you in this video. I'll be talking about the generalized coordinates. So these generalized coordinates, they are the independent coordinates. They are the independent coordinates to specify completely the configuration of the dynamical system. The configuration of dynamical system means they may be varied arbitrarily and independently of each other without violating the constraint of the system. So the generalized coordinates, they are the independent coordinate. So it is represented, the notation is by q1, q small q1 letter, q2 and q3, like you have the qn. Small letter q, it represents for the generalized coordinates, and where qi, that is, it is qi where I is varying from 1 to n. So if it is a if you take the two if I come to this Cartesian coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system So in the Cartesian coordinate system, in the two dimension, this generalized coordinate q1 is taken to the x and q2 is taken to the y. And if it is in a polar coordinates, then there is r and theta. So if it is r and theta, then the Cartesian this generalized coordinate q1 will be r and q2 will be theta. So here it will be r and theta. How it will be? q1 equal to r, which is equal to root over x square plus y square, and q2 equal to theta x square plus y square, q2 equal to theta, that is equal to tan inverse y by x. So that is the polar coordinates. Now if it is spherical polar coordinates, then how do we represent it? That is q1 equal to generalized coordinate q1, q2 and q3, because we have the r, theta and phi. So q1 equal to r, q2 equal to theta and q3 equal to phi. So r equal to, it is root over x square plus y square plus z square, and q2, which is the angle theta, so that is equal to cot inverse z by root over x square plus y square, and this phi, which is equal to, that is tan inverse y by x. So this is how the generalized coordinates, it is correlated with the q1, q2, q3 up to qn, that is, these are the independent coordinates which is required to specify the configuration of the dynamical system, that is being correlated with the Cartesian coordinate, polar coordinate and the spherical polar coordinates. So the q1 we can write down this q1, which is a function of, we can write down x1, y1, z1, or it is x2, y2, z2, y2 and z2, like this way up to t. Similarly q2, these generalized coordinates, it is a function of x2, x1, y1 and z1, x2, y2, z2, and there is another coordinate, it is t. Similarly it is for 3n generalized coordinates, so you can write down q3n, so it is x1, x2, x1, y1, z1, x2 y2 z2, and it is t. So this q3n, 3n is the q3n, that is your generalized coordinate. Generalized coordinate. This is the generalized coordinate to 3n Cartesian coordinate. 3n Cartesian coordinate. 3n Cartesian coordinate. So or in the reverse way, we can or you can transform this equation like x1. We can transform this equation. This is a generalized coordinates which is a function of the Cartesian coordinates. Now the Cartesian coordinates x1, y1 and zn. So x1, it is a function of the q1, q2 up to q3n and t, and y1, this is y1, this is q1, q2 to q3n, and it is t. Similarly, zn is zn, and then q1, q2 to q3n into t. So the necessary and sufficient condition is that we are transforming from a set of coordinates to the another set, and that is one set of coordinates, that is qy, and I equal to 1 2 3 up to n, to the set x I, or you can say x1, y1, z1, t. So that is effective. That is if you find out the Jacobian, it is written as Jacobian, then the determinant of the derivative, that is q1, q2, q3n divided by x1, y1, then it is up to zn, which is not equal to 0. That is the condition, that when you are transforming from one set of coordinates to another one set of coordinates to the other set, it will be effective only when the Jacobian, means the, if you find out the derivative and the determinant of those derivative which is not equal to 0. So this is all about the generalized coordinates. Now we will be talking about the generalized velocity. Generalized velocity. So what is the generalized velocity? How will express it with the mathematical expression? So the Ri, this position vector, it is a function of the generalized coordinates, that is q1, q2 up to q3n and time. So therefore, what the Euler's theorem says, Euler's theorem, for any variable x which is a function of the x1, x2 up to x3, if you have the function of the x1, x2, x3, then dx, which can be written as del x by del x1 into dx1 plus del x by del x2 into dx2 plus del x by del x3 into dx3. In terms of the partial derivative, del x by del x1 keeping x2, x3 constant into dx1 plus del x by del x2 keeping x1, x3 constant and into dx2 plus del x by del x3 keeping x1, x2 constant and dx3. So therefore, this can be written as this is written as del x by del xj into dxj, where I is equal to 1 to 3, because three derivatives are there. So we can write down that where I equal to 1 to 3 del xj to dxj. So therefore dri, it is written as dri, it is written as, so considering this Euler's formula, this is dri is written as the summation I equal to 1 to 3, and then it is del ri by del qj dqj plus the time factor is there, so del ri by del t into dt. So this is dri, small change in the generalized coordinate. So if you divide it by time, that will give you the generalized velocity. So the expression will be dri by dt, which is equal to, then summation, this is 3n, summation I equal to 1 to 3n del ri by del qj dqj by dt plus del ri by del t into dt by t. So this is all vector, this is vector. So this is written as summation I equal to 1 to 3n del ri by del qj and dqj by dt plus del ri by del t. So this is our ri dot. This is the expression for the generalized velocity. So this is all about the generalized coordinates and the generalized velocity. And then we will be discussing about the derivation of the Lagrangian equation of motion.